I just want to find out who I am and be that person all the time. Like, I don't want to have to keep feeling like I'm doing all these dances to like fit with other people. I feel like each one of us has our own unique essence or energetic signature, soul, who we are and who we came to be in the world. And so to me, getting to that is what I consider authenticity.
What if your authenticity has always been within you? What if those pings, those hobbies you loved as a kid were actually the pathway to who you are actually meant to be in the world? Today on the podcast, we have Jody Pignolet. She is an author, facilitator, and an authenticity coach. And we dive deep into what it means to be authentic and everything in between. But before we hop into the episode, I would love to share that I am hosting Self-Expressed, a workshop with Lexi Chang, where we dive deep into the 7 unique placements to create magnetic content. We will be decoding your signature expression in the workshop, and we'd love to have you there. The waitlist is now open, so please sign up today. Can't wait to share this with you. I'm your host, Sasha Pearl, the Energy Architect, and I guide soul-led women in building authentic 6-figure brands online by aligning their identity, their content, and their brand using my highly potent method. So let's get into it. Today on the podcast, we have Jody Pignolet. She is a 6'2" splenic projector, an author, a facilitator, and an authenticity coach. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
Just to hang out.
I know. Jody just told me that she has no projector friends, and I'm like, I don't know what that's like.
Can't relate.
I can't relate. So I would love to hear more about your life story. How did you become an author, a facilitator, and an authenticity coach in the world?
All right. Well, I guess I have to start back to when I was 23, and I started into Al-Anon to like deal with my dad's drinking. And while I was there, I was so aware of how I had been like contorting myself in like each connection that I made with the new people that I was like, people who were going deep, being real, but I could still notice that I was trying to accommodate or fit myself into something that I thought that they wanted, that they would like better. And in that experience, I had this like awareness of this and went, I just want to find out who I am and be that person all the time. Like, I don't want to have to keep feeling like I'm doing all these dances to like fit with other people, which, you know, I've been a coping skill that I took on.
And 23 is young to have that type of awareness, I would say, too.
Yes. It was wonderful to step into this world where people were being real about what was going on in their lives and in themselves. And so once I did that, and then I got into therapy, and then I was just in and like always on this path of self-discovery and then spirituality. And the more that I explored this path, the more I got to see that what was in me wanted to come to life and be expressed. And the things that were preventing that were just ideas that I had taken on. I mean, I had many wonderful teachers showing me these ideas. And so just having that experience and learning that the things that wanted to come forth brought me so much joy, and learning to trust that, like, that is worth something, that is worth a great deal. And so that sort of narrowed my focus around that path. And I was like, again, I just want to find out who I am, and I want to be that person. And then I want that full expression was really just to me, that was the dream. And as I'm experiencing, wow, I knew I had talents. I just didn't really know what to do with them or,
Mm-hmm.
but as I found out just that I'm pretty awesome, then I could, I
Yes,
could
you are.
recognize, thank you. I could recognize that other people were too. Then I could see more in each person, like, holy cow, what's in there? Like, I want to know really what's in there. And that's why when I listened to your podcast, I was like, we are so on the same wavelength with that.
I know, it's actually insane.
Yeah, it's really, I just
I
like,
always say the more I can be myself, the more other people can be them.
yeah,
And it's so true.
yeah.
So,
And that's really, truly to me, that is the best gift that we get to give ourselves and the world
mhm,
is our authenticity.
absolutely. And how I feel like, unfortunately, everyone is like, authenticity is overused, authenticity this. And I'm like, chill, guys. Like, it's so important, though. So, how do you describe authenticity in the world?
I feel like each one of us has our own unique essence or energetic signature, soul, who we are and who we came to be in the world. And so to me, getting to that is what I consider authenticity. I facilitate a modality called authentic relating games. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's really the practice of being as present as you're capable of being and then as real as you're capable of being. So we're not all, we don't have the capacity necessarily to be fully authentic, but in whatever ways we can, if we could notice and recognize, oh, wow, that's feeling like that. And I feel like I want to share that, or that is lighting me up. I'm so aware of how that's lighting me up. Yeah. So those, like, that's kind of, those are in the bag of authenticity for me.
I love that. And so how do you get people, do you have like well, yeah. So what is your framework for getting people back into their unique energetic essence and tool? Because I use human design. I'm like, hey, this is who you could this is who you could be in your highest form of self.
Yeah. I
Right.
love that.
So how do you get people to really see themselves? Because as projectors, we literally can see so deeply into the other person that it can be so uncomfortable for someone who's never done self-reflection or has never looked at themselves in a way of any sort of light to receive our own seeing, right? So I would love to hear how you navigate these
That's a
conversations to
really
get
great
people
question.
yeah.
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 First, I think just familiarizing people with this idea that there is such a thing and like kind of waking that idea up within them. I mean, a lot of people are already awakened to that idea, but just naming that who you are is in there. I feel like that kind of starts to bring it online. I do use astrology, just to take a peek. I love just,
A little peekaroo there.
Love just it. Get a little picture, a little snapshot. And this idea of resonance is super important to me, like talking about things that do make you come to life. Like, I feel like there's a couple portions of embodying your authenticity, and one of them is recognizing the things that you are in alignment with or in resonance with. Bringing that to awareness. Because I think we don't really talk enough about that. Like that's hard wired into us. Like we are come factory installed with this resonance meter, like recognition. And I think that is super important. Like whether it's goosebumps or like expansion, whatever you might notice that you feel. Talking about what you just love, like even if like what you love to do as a kid, even if it like everyone poo-pooed it because you're never going to make any money at that. Like, I think that those things are it's like a untapped mine for who you are and what is in there and wants to come to life. And I feel like there was one more, a third thing, but I can't think of that right now. So maybe see if any of those things
Okay.
bring more questions, and we'll get to that.
Love it. Well, and so I'm looking at your human design chart, and your core gift is literally speaking. Like, I love that you just said it's so important for people to talk, like, bring back what they were talking about, what they're so excited about, even if it was like unpopular, uncool, or like so nerdy. Because for you, your core gift is like sharing the things that you love with enthusiasm. Like, that is your core gift. And you have the entire
Love
channel
it.
of talent. Yeah. And it's all about going really in depth into the things that you love to do. So I love how you're already bringing that into the framework of getting people back into their authentic self
Yeah.
through that lens. I'm also curious what parts of the I love astrology, so we're gonna go there for a moment.
Yay.
What parts of astrology do you choose and pick from? Are you looking at it from a holistic standpoint, or what information are you taking from astrology to help like inform to how you navigate the authenticity coaching?
So, the field or modality of astrology that I studied is called evolutionary astrology. I don't know, have you ever heard
I
of
feel
it?
like I have.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wolf Green brought it like in the 70s, I guess.
Okay.
And his thing is wherever Pluto is in your chart, and house and sign, tells you what you came to evolve in this lifetime. And for me, I couldn't have imagined, like, I couldn't have, if I had all the different modalities of astrology out there, I couldn't have picked a more perfect one that's just sort of came to me and landed in my lap.
That's how it goes.
Because it's like, yeah, what's my soul doing here?
Mhm.
What do I want to do with this life? And that really is such a little pointer to that. And then he talks about the nodes and where the north node is, how you're going to do it. And where the south node is just like what you're drawn to because it's what you're familiar with.
Okay.
But if you head in the direction of your north node, that, and I don't know if you know anything about,
Sure do. I was like, I know those. Sorry.
about the Sabian symbols. So
Wait, sorry,
the
what?
the Sabian symbols,
No.
those are like little one-liners about the frequency of that particular degree. So my north node is at 21 degrees of Cancer, and that Sabian symbol is like an opera singer warming up her voice. So, and I study classical voice, like it's just, yeah, that's.
And your core gift is from your throat.
Yeah, which interestingly enough is horse today.
Uh-huh.
Strange.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you know this off the top of your head. So mine is Pluto's in my second house in Scorpio.
Oh, wow.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, just Pluto rules Scorpio. So, I mean, that's all about transformation, right? Just going deep, getting to the essence of things. And the second house is your, like your house of resources and what you value and what you have, like your gifts. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're kind of a Scorpio Pluto
Love it.
offering wealth. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I love going deep into things. And then I have my South Node in Leo in the 11th house, and then Aquarius North Node in the 5th house.
Oh, your North Node's in the 5th house too? That's where mine is. Yep.
So that's like through our
Yeah.
creativity, right?
Yeah.
And play. Creativity and play.
And self-expression.
children. There it is. Okay. Because my next
Yeah.
question was like, how has you understanding your North Node and South Nodes and then your Pluto placement transformed transformed how you show up in the world? Like, knowing that information, did it really help you feel more fully expressed in it?
Yes. Yeah. It really helped me understand myself more, and it helped me, it helped validate like kind of where I wanted to head anyway. Like I just always wanted to be on stage ever since I was a little kid, but I was this little, very shy, super sensitive being. So it kind of didn't really make sense. But I just always had that in me. And so knowing that, oh, my North Node is in my 5th house of self-expression. Yeah.
And that changed everything.
It
And then
changed
have
everything.
you been on like stages and speaking for the last decade, or like what's your relationship to speaking on stage?
So I've been on stage more as a performer,
Okay.
singing and dancing, than I have talking about this. And
Yeah.
that really, as I wrote that book, released it in 2024, was kind of gearing up to put myself out there as a person who talks about this because it's what I want to talk about. It's what I love. I'm passionate about it, and I believe so deeply in it. So that was the plan. And then my husband passed away. It sort of gave me a different focus for a while, but it didn't like completely reroute me. It just took me back inside.
To do some more layers and excavation.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So you wrote, the greatest gift to give yourself is your authentic self. And this leads us to the book, and then we all get to shine. So do you want to talk a little bit more about your philosophy and your process for writing the book?
Yeah. So I knew I wanted to write a book for probably, I don't know, 3 years before I got super clear on what this book actually was. And I knew I wanted it to be about authenticity because that just meant so much to me in my life to feel like I could be my authentic self. But then I just kind of went away and got really focused on what this idea meant to me. And then I was like, and then we all get to shine. I was like, oh, that's 100% the title because that's what I want. And when we are shining, when we get to express and be our authenticity, what that allows for other people to experience, it makes us, it feels wonderful to be able to do that. Like it just brings a ton of joy. It impacts others in a super positive way. And then the more of us who are doing that, I love to imagine what that brings to the world. You know?
We are so alive. Is it because our North Node's in the fifth house of Aquarius? Is that why?
Could be. That's a pretty expansive humanitarian sign.
Seriously, I always say the more that you can understand yourself, the more that you can understand people, especially people who are not like you.
Yes.
And then imagine the world we get to create when we're actually operating from our highest selves.
Yes. Goosebumps.
Yeah, me too. But seriously. Yay. And so so in this book, I haven't had a chance to read it yet, which is so unfortunate, but I'm going to go and buy it after this podcast.
Awesome.
What are you speaking to in the book? Or is it just, what are you speaking to in the book?
So I just start out with this idea, like these beliefs I have that who you are is in there, and that why you might not be experiencing that in your life as much as you want to is just simply all those things that you took on during your life that are not true about who you are. Like you're too much, or you're too loud, or you're not smart, or just or ideas about yourself, or ideas about the world, about relationships, other people, all of those ideas. We just naturally absorb, and then we, kind of come up with our own stories as well.
Yeah.
And recognizing the resonance, like recognizing that there is an experience of being in your authenticity that you can feel in your body. And so calling on when that's happened in the past and then learning to recognize it in the future. And then again, and then we also can, we come up against these ideas that we've been taught, but we can release those, like those don't have to stay. And we replace them with what is really true, which
I love
is
that.
So much more expansive.
And that's so powerful because I think, it's like life has happened to us, and this is who we are after life has happened to us, right? And it's like, actually, yes, and we also get to alchemize all of these experiences for good. Our experiences, like our soul has given us these experiences, these exact ones, so we can meet the right people, be in the right relationships to then go and share it with the world, right? But when I don't know, it's like we almost like forget that we have a mission here in this world.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what if all of this was meant for us? Even in the deepest pain. Like I've lost my mom, you've lost your
Mm.
husband, we've experienced a lot of loss and we still get to choose and like be like, thank you so much that I even got to like experience you in this lifetime, right? Like what a gift it is to be able to live with all of these like deeper, darker experiences and also the light, right? In the immense amount of grief that we can have is also the amount of joy and authenticity that we can also live from as well. And it's like the more loss actually creates this like larger capacity for us to actually live in like in more joy and in more happiness. And there's just
Yeah.
something so powerful about that choice. So coming back to the question I was going to ask in the first place, how are you getting people to like not remove, but almost like integrate, alchemize the shadows, like the belief systems of I'm too much or I can't possibly do that, but you could do that, right? How
Yeah.
are you just asking them deeper questions in the book or are you giving them a framework to really like guide them out of I'm not enough or I'm too much into I got to be exactly who I want to be?
Yeah. I think that first of all, the idea of creating safety within, um, or just allowing what is to be okay in that moment. So we don't have to feel broken or less than or something because we're not experiencing our big full self.
Mhm.
To me, I feel like that's kind of a primary because we can be hard on ourselves about so many things. And we'd be like, oh, I'm just not living my authentic life.
Mhm.
So to not put that on ourselves, but to understand we came by this version of ourselves. We came by this honestly.
Mhm.
Like this is just all what happened and what you've experienced. And it makes total sense that you have these ideas.
Mhm.
So welcoming those and allowing those to just be, I think is
Mhm.
really important.
Mhm.
Um, but then saying this isn't a truth. And there are different ways to get to like what is the real meat of the belief
Mhm.
and how to unlock it and release it. And there are some ways in the book that are simple and what to do. And then also, there are practitioners who work in this sort of thing, and I work in this sort of thing. Um, and unplugging that, like finding the moment where you took that on. What was that? And what is that idea really? And
Mhm.
then replacing that with what is the truth and what, like, we all know what we want to be true.
Mhm.
Like, I just, for so long, I wanted it to be true that I could be on stage. And I'd be like, no, no, people don't want to hear what I have to say. People. But my life let me get to that place where I could be on stage.
Mhm. Yeah. How
Feels
long
so
have,
exciting.
yeah, that's so cool. How long have you known you wanted to be on stage?
Honestly, I want to say since I was 5 years old. I loved
What?
to sing. I really loved to sing. Um, but I was the youngest of 7 kids. Like, we didn't have the resources to foster that in any way. My parents didn't have the resources to give that any attention. And so
Yeah.
I just always had that in my being. And then it really probably wasn't until I was an adult on my path where I was like, dang, I do still want to be on stage. How do I make this happen?
Mhm.
And then, so it wasn't just like, oh, and there I am on stage and feeling great. No, I needed to work through a lot of the
The visibility.
conditioning. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, for me, so I changed my name last year to Sasha Pearl. It was Lindsay Freeman. And before I changed my name, I don't think I had any actual desire to be a speaker or to be visible. And if I did, it was very much hidden under the conditioning and beliefs that I'm not the one meant to be out in the spotlight, but other people are. Like I can see the gifts of other people, but I couldn't recognize myself in those gifts. And for whatever reason, I mean, all meant to be, had a whole massive like throat activation, which, rules our self expression at a retreat. And then also got the download that I'm going to change my name, that my name isn't my name. And I was like, oh my God. And then as soon as I changed my name, it was like, I must be on stage. I must be visible. I'm going to start this local community. I'm going to go get paid to go speak on stages or in workshops. Like I'm going to start actually leading my life. And I just find it so fascinating for the people who do actually know that they want to go speak to me, where I'm like, I literally make myself sick. I like have always feared public speaking, which a lot of people do, but like I'm doing
Right.
it in such a different way now because I just decided, like I just woke up and was like, my new identity is Sasha Pearl, and Sasha Pearl gets to be visible, and she is going to now go speak on stages, right? It's like
God.
I've never had such a deep knowing, like this is exactly where I'm going and where I needed to be. But it was wild to like to work through the identity of that. So what were the identity shifts that you had to shift for you to just own, like, I want to be on stage speaking about authenticity? Like, what were some of the old beliefs that you were holding where it held you back from like just owning the fullness of you?
I'm going to answer it, but first of all, I just want to
Yeah.
say major goosebumps as you tell your story. I didn't know that that was like that recent and that dramatic. And I love it because you clearly,
Yeah.
like to me, as I see you, you just clearly are aligned. You are
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah. It's really
Yeah.
wonderful. It's like the
Thank
perfect.
you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just had no idea,
Yes. Yes. That's
literally.
what I mean. Like, who's in there? God, that's so exciting. I call it
Yes.
like diamond mining or mining for gems or whatever. Just like,
Yes. And I think I've always wanted to. I was just so afraid of like, oh, well, if I'm seen, then I actually have to be vulnerable. Or like there's like a vulnerability thing that I was like, well, I'm okay holding everyone else's stuff, but I'm not necessarily okay sharing what I like my own belief systems and my
right.
perspectives.
Yeah.
Right.
Sharing
Because
what's
that's like
really
it
in there.
is. It's big. Like I want to create a lot of impact in this world. And I think we have very similar missions based off of our south and north nodes to
Yeah.
do that. Right.
Yes. Love it.
Thank you for that reflection. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. That's just super cool.
Mhm.
And it makes me happy that other people are going to see that too.
Yeah.
So for me, it has been a really decades long process of removing the beliefs around being seen because it seemed like an early on thing that on my path that I was like, oh, I want to talk. I want to be in front of people.
Mhm.
And so giving myself voice lessons and taking voice lessons, like giving that gift to myself of taking voice lessons and then um, becoming a yoga instructor, finding my voice there. I found my voice through writing very early on because I learned about morning pages through the Artist's Way. A lot
Yes.
of people know about that and just like
Mhm.
stream of consciousness. So that kind of helped me. It helped me allow what wanted to be said, at least first on the paper, and then more courage to say it to other people.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and then just being in communities of like-minded people and sharing this desire and getting support and like, okay, come here and talk about this or sing here. And um, my dad was a musician. And so for me, singing off pitch was like the worst thing I could do. And like the most shameful thing to do that I kind of took that on. And so I had to work through a lot of that to be brave enough to be singing out in front of other people and singing off pitch and being nervous and all of those things. One of the things that I like to say is that I'm so grateful that my love of performing outweighs my fear. And my love of whatever it is I'm doing, that I'm able to get myself to do it
Mm-hmm.
because not
Yeah.
everybody can.
No,
Yeah.
definitely no. I'm always like, I don't have problem taking action, actually, even though I think I'm probably like 10% of the population, though. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people rather just like stay in the fear, stay in like that same spiral pattern of like, no, I want to stay safe. This is me being safe, right? and
Yep.
then safe and palatable. And then you're like, why am I so miserable? And it's like, well,
Right.
you're not living. You're not living you. Like, what would life look like if you actually got to live you?
Such a
Right.
good question. Yeah.
Right. And so I love that you have like well, it feels like you have built a life around your authenticity.
I'm
So
so
what does,
lucky. Well, I was going to say,
yeah.
I'm so lucky. It's not really luck, it's design, but
Yes, yeah. I was just gonna say
I'm
you
blessed
designed
that I
this.
feel like I've been so supported
Yes.
throughout my life to
Oh,
do this.
that's what I was going to say, the community aspect. I think if I didn't surround myself with the right people who could see me and honor the human design, the spirituality, all of the taboo stuff that I'm into, just because I think it's fascinating, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Right. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but in my early 20s, it was more about like quantity versus the quality. And the more people that I could have around me, the less I was seen. If I can surround myself with so many people, then I don't actually have to see myself. I can see everyone else, but I don't have to see me. Right. And
Yes.
so when you are operating from how like other people can see me in this light and you're like operating of like, well, you just think I'm like this, so I'm going to just be like this because you think I'm like this. Right. And then you're like, why do I feel so this isn't I don't even know who this person is anymore. You make all these decisions from a place that is not you, that you are a foreigner in your own body. So have you ever
Yes.
experienced that type of space within your life?
I would say growing up, the youngest of 7, so there were many, many people looking and many different opinions about how to do this and that and what to say and how to say it and how to be and all of those ideas that I feel like I came with.
Hmm.
And I just wanted to belong in my family. And
Yeah.
so I just was the person who I felt like probably fit best in my family. But then as I, started to learn about myself, I started to be like, well, actually, I don't think I'm a Catholic. Actually, just there was a lot of that. Actually, I don't really like to talk like that or, you know,
Yeah. Well,
so
and with your design too, you're so open. Like you only have two centers defined, which is your spleen and your throat center. So like you are literally, when it's open like that, you're taking on, and with the other 6 other siblings and parents, that's a lot.
yeah,
Like you
it was
had
a
to really
lot.
set up a bunch of like energetic boundaries, or maybe that didn't happen until after you moved out.
Um, yeah, I didn't really, I held a lot of tension in my body
Hmm.
to just sort of stay,
Yeah.
whatever, stable. Um, yeah. And then, yeah, it was just a big process of unbecoming that person and that identity
Hmm.
to slowly growing into who I really am.
Yeah. Yeah. So with your newfound identity and your authentic living, what does your day look like as the most authentic version of you now? And if it's like 99% there, what would be that last 1% where you're like, and this is it, and we have done it?
Mm, that's such a good question.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm pretty good at moving through my day in an authentic way, like feeling, and I'm very blessed to have a lot of freedom around
Hmm.
how I do my day.
Hmm.
But just like getting up, getting myself grounded and centered, doing my morning practices, and then sitting with, okay, what needs doing? What do I want to do now? Like to me, that's kind of a fun
Hmm.
little experience in authenticity. Like, what
Hmm.
would bring me the most joy? Like on this list, what's going to bring me the most
Hmm.
joy now? And trusting that, because sometimes things on your list, you're like, I should get that done, but
Yeah.
that's you don't feel drawn to do that yet, and because it's just not time. Like I've seen
Hmm.
that many, many times, so I feel like that is um, like a great little way of being in alignment during my day.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit more about that. actually. So on this, is it a daily to-do list or is this like a life to-do list that we're speaking to?
Both. Like, if
Both.
I'm just looking at what are the tasks that I need to handle today or this week, and how am I going to structure my time? And so, just trying to be, maximize the joy, the energy, the life, instead of, because I can do this. Like, I know how to do this. I know how to put my head down and just get to work and take care of the tasks.
We had to learn that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I still have it. I still can do it. But if I want to have a more expansive or joyful, whatever, gentle day, then I have the capacity to just go, all right, what's next? What do I feel? What feels most alive to head to?
I think that's a really great question to ask. What feels the most alive? What I was really curious about, though, is the timing. I thought that was really interesting because I'm like, wait, I have a to-do list and I'm looking at it and I keep like putting off this one thing. It could potentially just be because it's not the right time to bring it into the world. Or tell me more about like what is the process about or energy of timing in this process?
Well, I have seen this happen so many times where I have been like on myself about, I need to get this thing done today.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like doing it. And then the next day, that's all I want to do. Like whatever, even if it's just like cleaning the house or getting something ready, and I've got to do all these things by Friday, and I'm like, oh, get into this mindset of like, I have to check all these things off my list.
Yeah.
And the one that logically makes the most sense is to do this. I'm like, no, not that today. And then the next day, my whole being is completely in alignment with the desire to do that thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I think it's to do it in small ways with your tasks or whatever you're doing, but also in big ways. Like I'm writing this other book and I keep going, when am I going to finish this book? And I just am really trusting the process and the timing.
What is this book about?
This is about restoring the flow of love.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the premise is that we are love, and when it's not flowing, we know it. And again, the reasons why it's not flowing are just things that we learned and took on. And a lack of understanding about how to make it flow again, whether that's within ourselves or with other people or organizations, groups, countries, whatever.
And I feel like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's not. I feel like the flow of love within your body is actually a huge part of bringing your fullest expression forward and your own authenticity too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you tie in the authenticity piece to the flow of love?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because it's what's real. Allowing ourselves to say what is real, again, first to ourselves and then to somebody else if we need to. To the world if we need to.
I love that. Have you always been a writer?
I actually liked writing like in high school, and once I got, like, I journaled before I even heard about morning pages, but then once I got on the morning pages, then I've been a journaler for so long.
Oh my gosh, powerful. Yeah. I guess we didn't finish the first question either. Now I think about it.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what? Tell me more about this to-do list. Okay. So you have your morning practices, which does that include the morning pages, like meditation, or what are your morning practices?
Getting on my yoga mat.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. So like a grounding and balancing system process thing that I go through, and getting on my yoga mat.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, some journaling.
Then the to-do list.
In the ideal day. Yep.
Love it.
And then like go have breakfast, and then I'll come and sit back down and go, okay, here's what this day looks like. How am I gonna do it?
Nice. So it seems like it's like really honoring, or like your authentic expression feels like it's about honoring your natural flow. It's like, yes, you can have these structures and then you get to pick from the things that need to be done and kind of create your own day. It's like choose your own adventure today.
Yes, I love that.
I
And
love
honoring your
that.
flow. I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, as projectors too, since we are like we're considered non-energy beings. I don't know. Have you dove deep into human design?
No, but I
No.
know that much. Yeah, the
Okay.
projectors don't have their own
Okay.
energy source or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we do need a lot more rest than the other energy types. So I love that it's like the choose your own adventure day and really listening and honing into like your body and listening to the wisdom of it. And also I'm curious, like, what is your relationship to rest right now?
Yes. I do. I find, especially since my husband passed away, I mean, there are more things that I have to carry.
Hmm.
So I'm aware that I do need more rest
Hmm.
and giving myself permission to take it.
Hmm. How has the losing your husband shifted your like day to day and how you show up and experience life? Because I think when we experience such grief and loss, it's part of like a heaviness that we hold, and it feels almost harder to actually show up in our fullest expression when we're going through such immense amount of you know
Yeah.
grief.
Um, it certainly has gotten easier, much easier over time. And I'm so thankful that my life experiences before that really prepared me to be
Hmm.
able to handle that.
Yeah.
Um, and to know that like how I'm feeling today, I get to feel,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
I get, I get to have whatever that feeling is, if it's anger or sadness or gratitude, all of it. So just
Hmm.
knowing that I am allowed to feel all of the feelings around that I have.
Yeah. And then in that inherently, the allowing inherently creates the safety to like really explore that with yourself.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, to
And then
really
creeping the
fully
flow. Okay.
experience it.
Yeah. And then like keeping the flow of love. I'm assuming this book it's part of the process that you've been going through, keeping the flow of
Yes.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, but people don't also realize that never ends. Like that's
Mhm.
if somebody leaves your life, somebody dies.
Mhm.
That love is still there. You
Mhm.
just might not be knowing it.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's on all levels, all dimensions.
Wow. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. So what is most of life for you in the work that you're doing right now? Is it getting this book out into the world?
Um, surprisingly, that has not been my focus right now. I have been really feeling more about just putting myself out there as the authenticity coach, and I facilitate these authentic relating games in my community, which are so much fun and so nourishing for me and the people who show up. Um, so practicing the, I guess, the art of authenticity
Mhm.
is
Ooh, I
feels
love that.
yeah, I love that too. It just came to me.
I know. Okay, write it down.
Yeah.
So are you just starting to share, like, I am the authenticity coach? Is this like a newer identity that you're holding?
I have been holding that for years, but now I feel like it's actually coming to the world.
Okay.
And
Oh my gosh,
I
that's
have
so
had,
powerful.
I've worked with people, but this is like, and if you look at my website, that's what I've
Mhm.
been wanting to do, but I needed to do, I needed to become who I am now through my grief process. And,
Mhm.
um, yeah. And so I feel like now it really is landing in my body and on the earth. And
This is another threshold.
yeah,
Wow, that's really cool. That's really cool.
yeah.
So, I ask this on to all my guests on the podcast. So, if someone were to really know you, what would they
Mhm.
need to know about you?
That's amazing because that's one of my favorite things in authentic relating, where you say, if you really knew me, you would know. Yeah, which I just think is such a wonderful question.
Me too. Me too.
Okay, but now I have to answer it. So what would I want? Yeah, I just feel this, like how it's so deep in my being, this desire to live authentically and then be with others, like allowing space and safety for others to be who they are, for that to come through.
I love that. Yeah. Authenticity is like such one of the highest forms of energetic openness too.
No, I love that. I love that. That's like making its way into the social media.
I know. Me too.
posts.
There's science to back it up, people.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It is. So how can people connect with you?
So I have a website, jodypignolet.com. And yeah, that's probably and I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I haven't really posted anything on TikTok in a while, but I'm still there. You can find me, Jody Pignolet, on both of those.
Perfect. And what's the community that you were talking about?
So I live in Portland, and I had been wanting to bring this authentic relating to like just start facilitating that again, because I did in the place that I lived before. And so in my search for a venue, I found this incredible space called Deep Waters, which is actually going to close right now. But it was a very, very magical alignment and timing and frequency and everything that I found this place and got to. So for the past 5-6 months, I've gotten to host authentic relating games there, which has been, so then this community has started to grow. So, and I have another place, another venue that I'm going to try it out on Friday night this week.
So it's an in-person community.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. And is it once a month, every week, every other week?
It's been once a month. And then and then we added a thing called circling, which is a smaller, more intimate kind of experience of relating authentically.
I love that. Okay, well, if you're in Portland, folks, please go.
Yes. Look up Deep Waters, look up Jody Pignolet. Yep, you'll find where it's happening.
Please do. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast today, Jody.
Thank you,
lovely
Sasha.
to have you.
It was so wonderful to spend time.
Yes, it was.